Hello to all the fans here, and it's FRC, and we're about to start the final session of the weekend at Spa-Francorchamps. It's time to start the Belgian Grand Prix. We already had races at Formula Arena, race 1 and race 2. We had F1 qualifying in the rainy conditions, and we had Formula Arena qualifying also. And now it's time to start the race here at Spa, with 22 cars on the grid preparing for the 33 laps race. Hopefully it's going to be exciting, and let's see who's going to win this final race before the start of the summer break. Now it's time to take a look at the starting grid. As we already know by the qualifying session results, it's Daniel Fraser starting from pole position. Once again, the Ferrari driver was the fastest in this time trial. The second driver on the grid is Darbus Daniel. Then it's Abovic, another Ferrari. It's Max Midler. Then Yuri Gabriel, Berta Kieslin, Aditya Bagson Baked Oven on the fourth row. Then we have Vucic Charman and Erika Liban Hanebusa. The best drivers from the Formula 1.5 or from the group of midfield teams. Outside the top 10 we have Samet Oskan and Jafari Blackwood. Then it's going to be Victor Aitken and Santin Dreoli. And the slowest drivers in Q2 are Jake Tasley and Rosetta Martinez. Again, really close to make it into the second qualifying stage is Adam Hidayat on P17 with Lotus. Alongside him there is Alexander Arnold. Behind them there is Emil Nilsson with another solid result on HRT. On P20 it's Williams of Fernando Tost, and starting last are the HRT and Lotus of Colin Chapman and Lionel Messi. Now it's time to take a look at the weather conditions for today's race. We have 25% probability of rain, as it was for the Formula Renault races, and now it's dry. Probably we're going to have no rain, but as we know from the Formula Renault race 2, when we had 0% probability of rain shown on this diagram, we had start of the race in the wet conditions during the rain. Anyways, now it's time to start, it's time to begin. With 22 drivers on the grid prepared for one of the most awaited races on one of the most iconic tracks of the Formula 1 existence. Now it's time to take a look at the starting lights, as we have 5 lights, and we go green. At Belgium at Spa, with Fraser having a good start, the same as Daniel, but Abush was a bit faster. Here they come into the first corner. And look at that, round the outside comes Daniel to take the lead of the race. Do we have any carnage there behind? Looks like no. Any damage for somebody? Yes, we have some damage, but no retirements. That's a surprise. Anyways, so we're going to take a look at the replay a bit later. So we have Abovish behind Daniel Fraser down the camel straight, a battle for the second position. And no, Fraser is closing the door and he's still in second position on P2. That's difficult to see something from that camera. Andreoli behind Aitken. And Messi has a front wing damage, Chapman with a front wing damage, no rear win for Rosetta Martinez, and no rear win for Fernando Tost. I guess it's time to take a look on the replay after the lap 1. Abush is still chasing Daniel Fraser. Abush had a good start, as he reacted much faster than the drivers started from the front row. But he has not gained any positions from the start yet. Max Mitter on P4, then Kiesin Bagos, Gabriel Owen, Armin and Oskan completing the top 10. And as we see, there are 4 drivers who are 15 seconds behind the leaders, and these drivers has got some damage. Here they come into the bus of chicane. Also one of the most difficult parts of the track where a lot of collisions happen. Oh, we have some debris, and it's Yuri Gabriel making his way into the pits after a collision into the bus stop chicane. And now I guess it's time to take a look at the replay of the start, the fastest lap by Derbas Daniel, but that's not the most interesting part, as we have Beethoven and Yuri Gabriel colliding. The same situation as we had a lot of times at the Formula Arena last time, and it's happening in Formula 1 too. Now it's time to take a look at the start of the race, this light chaos. I don't know if it's a good adjective to say, but yeah. Lionel Messi colliding with Fernando Tost, the same as Tost coming to the back of Rosetta Martinez, and these are the 3 drivers with damage. There was another one, and this driver was, let me take a look again, it was Lionel Messi, Tost and Colin Chapman, who has also lost his front wing after the debris, and looks like it was a rear wing from the car of Rosetta. And all the drivers, all the 4 drivers who have got damage on the start, and 2 drivers who collided on in the bus of chicane, making their way into the pits. It's time to start the lap number 2, and Oskan is chasing Vucicharmin down the canal straight. One of the overtaking spots, one of the few overtaking spots of this track. Here he comes around the inside, but the next corner is going to be on the left. But here comes Sami Toscan, they're side by side for 3 corners. But it's still Vucicharmin ahead, but he runs a bit wide, and Sami Toscan takes the opportunity and gets past the Renault driver. The next one to overtake Vucic is going to be Jeffrey Blackwood, but he is still behind. Tost gets past Colin. I guess it happened in the pits. And we have another battle, it's Bagus and Kieslin, Red Bull and Mercedes. Fraser is still in second behind Daniel. Again, Bagus is going for a move on Kieslin in that fast corner, and that's not the best place to go for a move. Bagus was calm in that situation and decided not to risk with all the places he gained. All the places he gained? Yes, he gained one place. And we have a yellow flag, and the first retirement is going to be Victor Aitken, again into the bus stop chicane. And that was a collision with the Renault of Santiago Raioli, missing the braking point and going straight into the Taurus. Okay, these are the yellow flags, the first yellow flags of the race. Here come two Zabras side by side, Talsi and Hanebusa. And Jake gets past... oh! And then Jafari Blackwood without the front wing. Looks like there was a collision. Or he just ran wide. Looks like, yeah, no collision happened, just missing the braking point, running wide and running over the curb and damaging the left part of the front wing. Then some chaos happened on the start, and it's Emil Nielsen on P11 with two Zaubers into top 10. And also Arnold is on P12 on Williams, also not the fastest car this season. And that's going to be a four-way battle for the 9th position. What about other battles? Well, we still have yellow flags. Mr. Victor Aitken's car is getting removed from the track. Daniel Fraser sets the fastest lap. And look at that huge gap between Bagos and Oscan. The battle for P9 continues, now with the DRS enabled, and two Zaubers collide! That was almost a drama as it happened to MP Motorsport last time. But as they collide, they've got no damage at all, and they keep their positions on the track. Blackwood is in the pits. Four-way battle for P9. Erika Hanebusa on the inside, Telsley on the outside. Down the camel straight, here they come to the corner, and Erika Leban Hanebusa is up into P9 again. Blackwood was in the pits, and he is now on P18. Your Gabriel's on P14, and looks like we have just 13 cars without any damage on the first 3-4 laps. After that crazy start. Smeetler now is going for a move on Abovich. And so also here comes Fraser on Daniel. And that's really close, but still not enough to make it into the lead for Fraser. So here comes also Max Mittler on Abovich, no, but he is using DRS. Again, we have a battle for P9 between even 5 cars. We can count Hidaya too, as he's like 2-3 seconds behind Erika. And Abovich is defending from Max Miedler. Abovich is already 1.5 seconds behind Fraser. On the first 2-3 laps he was battling for the second position, but now he's defending P3. And again he's fighting with one of Ferraris. Oh, and it's Daniel! Locking up! And it's another opportunity for Daniel Fraser to take the lead in this race. Let's take a look at the replay, because it looks like we've missed that moment. And he ran wide. Yeah, he actually... it was the curb. And it was very slippery on the curb, so he locked up his front left tire. But he is staying on the first position. But here comes Daniel Fraser. And now the bus stop chicane. Hopefully no collision is going to happen, and actually yes. They're driving safe. And also Abovic is getting closer to them, so Abovic might get the DRS, the rear wing. Boost to his speed on the straight, as here comes Daniel Fraser on Daniel. On Darabas Daniel, once again, the Mercedes driver had no wins this season, and he's staying on the first position. Yeah, 3 minutes ago we had an exciting battle for P9, but now look at these gaps. And here comes Daniel Fraser on Darabas Daniel once again, battle between two Daniels. And just 0.2 of a second between them. And now they're going into the third sector. Abovic is already less than 1 second behind Daniel Fraser. Here comes Fraser on Darabas, but no. At least Abovic has the DRS. And look at that, even Kieslin is getting closer to Smitla. Just 1.1 between them. It's lap 7 already. And looks like the gaps are getting bigger. The same as in the situation when we had a battle for P9. We had 5 drivers fighting for that position, but for a moment. But then the gaps just increased and increased. So we have a battle for P11 as Nielsen is defended from the Williams of Arnold, and we have Hidayat on P13. Fraser and Daniel going side by side again. And let's see what's going to happen now. 2 battles happening, Fraser and Darabas, and also Abovic and Smitla. Yeah, and also let's not forget about the battle for P5. Fraser was trying to do something round outside. Also Kieslin and Bagus are fighting for P5. And probably another opportunity for Daniel Fraser to overtake the Mercedes down the Camel Straight. Is he going to overtake the P1 after 8 laps staying behind Darabas? Or he's going to continue getting the DRS behind that Mercedes? Looks like it's going to be the second option for him, as he's still behind. Darabas Daniel is still defending and doing it really well, and now let's bring the topic of pit stops. The pit stops, in my opinion, are going to start in 5-6 laps time, as Daniel, Fraser, Darabas Daniel, and other drivers in the top 5. We can even count. No, wait a minute. Yeah, so we have top 3 drivers having 7 liters of fuel, then Smitla, Kiesin and Bagus having 8 liters of fuel, then again Oskan 7 liters, Armin 8 liters, Hadams 8, Tesla 7, and probably also Nielsen 8, Arnold 7, Hidayat 8, and 10 liters for Gabriel. Almost 10 liters, okay, we're going to count it as 9. And looks like something happened to Martinez. Something happened to Martinez and Messi. And looks like that was a collision to turn 1 between the Force India and Lotus cars. Yeah, that was a lockup by Messi. Rosetta Martinez forgot how to brake and came straight into the Lotus. And got front wing damage, of course. Well, that's another retirement for Lotus. And we have 20 cars on the track at the moment. And of course Martinez is going to be all the way down on P20. The Belgian marshals are working really well today, as they removed the Lotus car in just a few moments. Here comes Rosetta Martinez into these fast corners with a very bad grip as a result of losing the front wing. And he makes his way into the pits. lap 10 of 33 already, and we're still waiting for the first mandatory pit stops. So Rosetta is going to be the first driver here to already have 2 pit stops. In 10 laps. $6.5. Much faster than Fraser planning a move on Darabos to take the lead in the race. And it's time to start the... Oh, and it's an oil leak for Darabas Daniel! Another bad luck! Another bad luck for the Mercedes! And look at that fire! Look at that smoke! Again, he had everything to win this race, everything. He was defending really well for 10 laps, but on the lap number 11, here comes the oil leak, here comes the fire, and here comes the drama for the Hungarian driver. He could take the pole position as Hungarian, he could win there, he could take the pole position there, and he could win there, but no. Again, bad luck strikes for Darabas Daniel, ending his race and probably his Formula 1 career. There were a lot of rumors about him leaving Mercedes, and probably it's going to come true after this race. Now it's a Ferrari 1-2, and probably the dreams about Red Bull win the Constructors' Championship are ruined. But well, let's see what's going to happen. As we have almost all the title contenders having not the best race, comparing Ferrari and, for example, Mercedes. Like we have Max Mittler on 2nd position, Berta Kiesen, who is on P2 in the championship, is on P4, Aditya Bagos is on P5, and what about Yuri Gabriel? A damage on the first laps, and now he's only on P13. And after that oil leak for the Mercedes, probably is going to be the intrigue of the race ruined as the gaps are already increasing sector by sector. And now let's hope for the first pit stops on the next lap or in 2 laps time. Rosetta Martinez just starts the 12th lap with 25 laps of fuel remaining for him, and it's going to be enough to finish this race. Here comes Fraser crossing the line, and he is going to be in the pits on the next lap, the same as Abovic and anybody else, the same as Samet Özkan. And Jake Dasley. And also, again, as we had at Hungarian, we have an HRT in top 10. This time it's P10 for Emil Nielsen. Yeah, I remember last time I said that he can get these points for HRT. He can do that, but here comes the engine failure. Hopefully this time it's not going to happen. And here comes Hideyato and Arnold, but the Williams car is still ahead. And look at that, Yuri Gabriel, who has been in the pits for one time, is already getting closer to the Lotus and Williams of Hidet and Arnold, who did not have any pit stops today. Anyways, here comes our race leader, Daniel Fraser, and it's still going to be Ferrari leading, but it's going to be our championship leader, Max Smitler. Fraser is in the pits, the same as Abovic, and it's going to be Max Smitler on P1 and Berta Kieslin on P2. P3 is going to be for Aditya Bagos. Fraser and Abovic are in the pits, and oh, Dane Fraser has been held up in the pit on the pit lane. Samet Oskan is now being ahead of the Ferrari of Fraser, and Abovic is virtually leading the race. And we have Nielsen on P6, yeah boy. Look at the traffic, look at the traffic. We have Lotus of Adam Hidayat side by side with Abovic into the Arush Radion, and that's Lotus overtaking McLaren. These are some awesome stuff happening at the moment. Probably the most unpredictable in this race. Gabriel gets past Abovic, and Owen is ahead of Daniel Fraser, and now it's time to take a look at it once again. Probably the most beautiful and the most unpredictable overtake of the season so far. That was a brilliant stuff by the Lotus driver. And also, let's take a look at this pit lane incident with Daniel Fraser and Samet Oskan being involved there. Then Daniel Fraser has stopped the car to let Abovic through. And now talking about now where Hidayat has been. He's been there, been much faster than Abovic, and then getting the slipstream behind the car, and also Beethoven making the move on the Ferrari of Daniel Fraser, the same as Hidayat did. But my priority on who had the best overtake goes for Hidayat, of course, because he had a much slower car as he's driving a goddamn Lotus. Anyways, talking about the leaders, it's Max Mitter and Berta Kieslin and Aditya Bagos and Wood Sherman, who is now on P4, and Eric Kalebani Hanebusa and Emil Nielsen and Adam Hidayat. All the top 7 is making its way into the pit lane. And the first one to change his tires in this group is going to be Max Mittler, who is now in the pits, the second Ferrari. And I guess who is going to take the lead after these pit stops? Max Mittler, 4.8 seconds pit stop, fantastic stuff by the Ferrari, and looks like he is going to be the leader of the race. As we have Kiesling 6.9, Eric Alibana Hanebusa on P3 for a moment, but here comes Yuri Gabriel. Berta Kiesling Smitler on P1 and P2. Yuri Gabriel and Kieslin probably are going to be side by side into the Arush Radion. Let's see what's going to happen. Here they come, side by side. Yuri Gabriel makes the move down, round the outside to take this P2. But of course it's going to be a dominant P1 for Max Mittler. with a probably 5 seconds gap. Kieslin on Gabriel once again. You're running a bit wild, but still keeping that second position. We have Oscar on P7, P4 Andrelli, then Tesli and Armin on P10. Eric Leben Hanebuse is on P11 with Nielsen, P12. Oven and Arnold having a battle for P13. And that's interesting because the McLaren is defending. And defending really well. Jeffrey Blackwood on P17 with that pit stop Fernando 6.7. Second pit stop for him. And do we have any more pit stops? Yes, we do. And we have Hero Gabriel in the pits at the end of this lap, as he's been told on the radio. So it's going to be like 6-second gap between Smitler and Kieslin. It's also here comes Sabovic and Berta into the bus stop chicane, but no, it's still going to be Kieslin P2 because here Gabriel is now going into the pits. .4 and he's been held up by Santino Andreoli, the Renault driver. And it's going to be Nielsen into P10 again. Also it's going to be Arnold P13 or P12. I guess it's going to be P12 as they're going to have a battle into the Arush Radion section of this beautiful Belgian track. No, they're not. No, they will not do that. They did not do that, as Yuri Gabriel just closed the door ahead of the Williams. Almost side by side into the Canal Straight, but no, Yuri Gabriel keeps the 12th position in this race. Colin Chapman in the pits, and he's going to be on P18, right ahead of Rosetta Martinez. I guess it's time to take a look at the race progression. And we have 9 of 10 drivers in top 10 making at least one position up. The only one who has lost the positions was Daniel Fraser, as he's now on P4 after starting from pole position. Do we have any more pit stops? No, we don't, and that's very good. Berta Kiesin might be chasing Abovic to have a battle for the second position, and it looks like we also have some close battles for P13, but no, actually we don't. And here comes Kiesin on Abovic, and it's P2 for the Mercedes. Let's take a look down the Canal Straight and side by side. Comes around the inside Bert Kiesin and takes P3. And Max Mitra probably is going to be approaching his championship lead, as he's leading the race with Kiesin on P2. Berta is also second in the championship, and he's losing 23 points to Max. And after that race, looks like it's going to be the 30 points advantage for Max Midler in the championship. And also have Sametoskan on P6. The Swedish Taurus driver. Then we have Tesla on P7 Zauber, and we have Armin and Hanebusa side by side as Erika makes her way up into P8. So we have Zauber P7 P8, P9 for Armin, and P10 for my boy Emil Nielsen. And he's going to be defended from Baked Oven. And the next one is going to be Yuri Gabriel. Just 0.2 of a second between HRT and McLaren in this battle. So here comes Beethoven, round the inside, the move does not work. And again into the bus of chicane. No, as Emil closes the door and starts his 19th lap of the race. Round the inside comes Beethoven. On the HRT, Emil is not going to give up, but sadly he's down to P11 after being overtaken by Baked Oven. Let's take a look at the replay. Emil was trying to defend his position until the end, but it's going to be position lost, and he's going to be on P11. But looks like he does not give up and trying to get the slipstream behind the McLaren, and they are going side by side on the camel straight. Who's going to win this battle? But now it's going to be Beethoven defending his position around the outside. And now let's get back to this battle for P11, Emil Nielsen and Yuri Gabriel. As it's already the lap number 20 of 33. Also Hiret is chasing Arnold for P13. And here comes Gabriel on Nielsen. As we almost forgot about that battle, and also that this battle existed. And let's see, Yuri Gabriel, one of the title contenders against the HRT, is going to be the winner in this battle. Is it going to be the HRT or is it going to be the Red Bull? Let's see. As here come the best overtaking spots, the bus stop chicane, then turn 1, Orange Radion, Camel Straight, and then it's going to be uh, the winner decided in this battle, I think. Here comes your Gabriel Nielsen. But he's not doing the same as Owen did, as he is staying behind. Probably he is going to make the move on the Camel Straight. Let's see, as Emil is still defending through the Arush Radion. Yuri Gabriel catching the slipstream behind the HRT, side by side. Car number 22 and car number 2. Who's going to be the winner? It's going to be Emil Nielsen, keeping the position. Yuri Gabriel does not give up. Again, he has an opportunity, he has a chance to get past Emil Nielsen in this battle, but look how good is Emil looking today. P11. Here comes Yuri Gabriel again, round the inside, but even there, Emil Nielsen is ahead of the Brazilian. We have yellow flags and it's Fernando Toss in the wall. Fernando Toss with an oil leak and the transmission failure for the Williams car. What's happened there? And when did this problem occurred? And it happened on the exit from Radion and at the start of the Camel Straight. The driver who was on P17 is going to retire and we are going to have just 18 cars. Just 18 cars, but let's get back to this battle. HRT and Red Bull, Cosworth and Renault. Okay, yellow flags are being removed and drivers can fight again into the Camel Straight. Nielsen and Gabriel. Nielsen still defending. Into the bus stop chicane they come. Emil Nielsen is still ahead. But here comes the main straight. It's going to be even more difficult for Emil to keep the position. Yuri Gabriel, DRS, catches the slipstream behind HRT, and they collide! And they collide! And that's the drama for both Red Bull and HRT. But looks like HRT is going to have much less grip, as Emil Nielsen has lost his rear wing, and that's probably the battle for the points over. Again, drama happening at Spa. Last time it happened for MP Motorsport in Formula Renault, then it was for Darabas Daniel, almost leading the race for for 15 laps, but then it's going to be the Red Bull of Yuri Gabriel colliding with the HRT of Emil Nielsen, and again, Emil is being stopped from scoring points for HRT for the second time in a row. Arnold is going to get past him, Hires is going to get past him, here comes Adam Hirayat, also having a battle with the Williams of Alexander Arnold, as we have drivers starting the last part of the race, as it's already lap 22 of 33 and Hirayat gets past Arnold. Let's take a look how it happened. After overtaking Emil Nielsen, after an easy overtake, Hirayat gets past the Williams right on the Camel Straight. That's a fantastic move by the Lotus Series, which is going to be on P11 after Yuri Gabriel damaging the front wing. It looks like Yuri does not give up and he is trying to defend the position from Alexander Arnold, who has a better car with no damage and, if I'm not mistaken, fresher tires. Of course, blue flags being waved for Yuri Gabriel, as he is also closing the door right ahead of Santino and Raoli. I know that Red Bull is a fast car, but not that fast to keep a car without damage behind when you have almost no front wing. Any battles happening at the moment? No battles happening at the moment. Yuri Gabriel is in the pits, the Brazilian who ruined the race for Emil Nielsen and ruined the race for himself, of course, as he could fight for the points. And yes, he's now down on P14. And also talking about the battles for him in the championship, he's on P4 fighting with Daniel Fraser, who has 91 points, and Yuri Gabriel himself has 94 points. Gabriel Nielsen are in the pits, and somehow Emil Nielsen has his rear wing repaired much faster than a front wing being repaired for Yuri Gabriel. But here comes Rosetta Martinez on Emil Nielsen. Emil, who is now on P17, and Rosetta Martinez on P18, side by side on the camel straight, but looks like Emil Nielsen is closing the door and defending really aggressively from the Force India. Lap 24:33, and it's another challenge for Emil Nielsen to accept, as he's fighting with the Force India for P17. And also have Abovic and Fraser really close. Battle for P3, not actually really close, but at least the gap between them is less than 1 second. Let's get back to Emil Nielsen and Rosetta Martinez fighting. And Rosetta Martinez trying to do something around the outside, but Emil Nielsen closes the door and he does not leave enough space to Rosetta to let him make the move. Well, now Rosetta has a DRS, now Rosetta has a slipstream, now Rosetta is getting closer to the HRT. The battle is going to continue into the Irish Radion and Camel Straight. As here they go, HRT and Force India, Emil and Rosetta, Nielsen and Martinez. Down the Camel Straight comes Rosetta Martinez on that HRT, but Emil Nielsen keeps him behind the same way he did when he was defending from the Red Bull of Yuri Gabriel. And also Daniel Fraser is really close to Abovic, as he has a DRS, he has a slipstream, and he has a good mood to overtake the McLaren. Meanwhile, less than 10 laps remaining, and I guess it's time to summarize the race, but we're going to do that a bit later, because we still have a lot of battles, like the battle for P3 and the battle for P17. But no, looks like Emil is pulling away from Rosetta, so the only close battle at the moment is a battle for P3 between McLaren and Ferrari. And Daniel Fraser makes the move stick on Abovovich, and I guess it's time to take a look on the replay how it happened. Probably the most overtakes today happened at the Cannon Straight, and it also happened in the battle between Fraser and Abovich, a clear move done by Daniel, and now he's in the podium places. Rosetta still cannot get closer to this HRT. 27 of 33. And I guess it's time to compare the races of Formula One and Formula 1 here at Spa. So, the Formula One races were more dramatic than exciting. Because there were a lot of dramas, I already said, it was MP Motorsport drama, who could win the race, MP Motorsport could win both races, but it did not happen. They could get a lot of, like, almost every race they could have two drivers on the podium. On the moment there was a chance to have all the drivers on the podium, so it was 1, 2, 3 for MP Motorsport, but of course it did not happen. And talking about the F1 race, it was even more exciting than dramatic, despite having Daniel retiring from the lead, having Emil Nilsson's race being ruined by the Red Bull driver, and also having a lot of battles for not just for points but also for a podium. As you had right there, Abovich and Fraser fighting for P3, and in this battle Daniel Fraser takes the third position. We have less than 7 laps remaining, as we have 6 laps remaining. And I guess we still have some battles to watch. As the battle between two Sauber cars, between Jake Talsley and between Eric Liban and Hanebusa, as here they come into Sector 3. Talsley and Hanebusa. And also, usually we have a lot of crashes, a lot of drama into turn 1, into the first lap, but as we have lap 28 of 33 being started, we have just, how many? We have just 4 retirements in this race. Just 4 retirements after almost 30 laps. Yeah, looks like Erika cannot get closer to her teammate. And I guess it's time for some advertisements, as we're looking for a commentator, and if you don't want that guy who is being an HRT fanboy and speaking at the moment, commentating the races, you can contact us on Discord. The link to our Discord server is in the description, and you can just freely commentate all the races in the race streams voice channel. Feel free to commentate, and even feel free to join the commentary box right now, as we have 5 laps remaining. And Erika Hanebusa is getting a fantastic speed into Sector 3, almost getting past Jake Tasley into that impossible corner, as I like to call it, after the Formula Renault races, where there was just one overtake and a lot of possibilities to overtake there, as Erika Liban Hanebusa getting the DRS, getting the slipstream behind Jake Tasley, and she is still on P8. And these are going to be double points for Zaber if nothing bad happens to them. Meanwhile, we have Beethoven on P9 and Vucharmin on P10. Then we have Hidayat on P11, again really close to points. And Arnold with Santin Raoli fighting for P12. Yuri Gabriel is now closer to another HRT, and let's get prepared to have another HRT car without the front or rear wing, I think. Well, here they come down the main straight, and it's going to be Yuri Gabriel with DRS. And are they going to collide, please? And it's not happening. It does not happen, and Colin Chapman is still ahead of Yuri Gabriel. Okay, the battle for P15 continues. And we have just 4 laps remaining. I'm not sure if Fraser can get closer to Kieslin, but looks like the gap is getting decreasing lap by lap. Uh, 20 laps ago we had just one car inside the top 10 which did not made any positions up. Now we have 4 cars. 3 of them have lost 1 position. These drivers are Bowish, Owen and Armin, and Dave Fraser started from pole and now he's on P3, still podium positions, but sadly not a win for the British driver, who is now fighting with Berta Kiesin. As I said, he was faster than Berta in the last couple of laps, and now he has a fantastic pace to make that race into a Ferrari 1-2. And that's very interesting, as he has 3 laps left to make that happen. Four laps and a lot of opportunities to overtake, like he could do that right now, but no, it does not happen. Bertakis and Dane Fraser continuing their battle, now starting the 31st lap of the race. DRS, slipstream, everything for Dane Fraser, and almost nothing for Bertakis, who has to defend from this flying Ferrari with a fantastic pace and a driver also fighting for the positions in the championship. Yeah, and also Fraser and Kesen are probably fighting for the second position in the championship. Fraser is on P5, Kesen is on P2. Between them there are 20 points. And just 3 laps remaining. No rain, but still such an exciting action happening today at Belgium. Just half of the second between them. Just half of the second. And here they come into the third sector. Again, a lot of opportunities to overtake there. And at the start of sector 1, and Fraser was trying to do something already into the bus stop chicane, but no. As a result, he has a bit slower line into the bus stop chicane, and he has lost half of a second there. And yeah, usually Sector 2 is one of the most difficult parts of the track to overtake. So it's going to be very difficult to Daniel if he does not make the move right there, which most likely is not going to happen, but he has a fantastic speed. And no, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. The battle continues, but what about other drivers? What about other drivers? Jake Tassel is still on P7, Eric Hanebusa on P8, on P9 Armin P10, and Hidet on P11. Blackwood, Gabriel Chapman, Nielsen is still ahead for Zeta Martinez, as there are 3 seconds between them. Smitler is still leading the race with almost 13 seconds gap, and that's fantastic dominance by the championship leader. Again, looks like Berta was faster than Daniel on the first sector, as the gap is now 8 tenths, still 8 tenths of a second between them. But as we see and as we know, Ferrari has a great top speed, so it's going to be difficult for Berta to keep the lead, as here comes Max Mittler, our race leader for almost half of the race, and he's starting the final lap, the lap number 33. Also here come our drivers on P2 and P3, Berta Kessler and Daniel Fraser, who are still fighting for that second position on the final lap, with Abush P4, Bagus P5, then Oscar, Tasli, Hanebusa, Oven and Armin, and now I guess it's time to take a look at Berta. And the gap between him and Daniel is still a bit less than second, but now it's 9 tenths. Now it's 9 tenths. And Max Mittler is now half of a second faster than Berta in sector 1, and now he has 13.4 seconds gap ahead of the Mercedes. But in my opinion, the Ferrari 1-2 is not going to happen today, as Berta Kessler is still looking very good, and the gap is now already more than 1 second. Yeah, Berta finally found some pace at the end of the race. And let's see if he's going to finish the race on the second position. But we already know who's going to win the race, and it's going to be the championship leader, the driver who's looking really good today, and it's going to be the Welshman, Max Mittler, to win the race. And here comes our race leader Max Mittler, and it's P1, and he approaches the championship lead. P2 is for Berta Kessler, who ruins the Ferrari 1-2, with Dane Fraser finishing third and Aboa Aboish finishing on P4. P5 for Aditya Bagus, then it's going to be P6 for Toros of Samet Oskan. Again, a lot of points for the junior Red Bull team. P7 is going to be for Jake Tasley from Zauber, and P8 for his teammate Eric Hanebusa. Double points for the Swiss team. P9 is going to be for Beethoven, and P10 for Vucic Armin. 1 point for Renault. P11 for Lotus, again really close to the points is Adam Hidet, having a good race today, with Santin Reilly finishing on P12. P13 for Arnold from Williams, P14 is going to be for Cynthia of Jafari Blackwood, P15 Yuri Gabriel, who actually finished ahead of Colin Chapman and Emil Nielsen. The race got ruined by that Red Bull driver. And finishing last in P18 is going to be Rosetta Martinez, and congratulations to Max Mittler. As the gap in the championship between him and Berta is going to be 30 points. Now it's time to take a look at the final results once again and listen to the national anthems of Wales and to the national anthem of Italy. Again, Max Mittler, Kessin Fraser into top 3. The race was completed by Max by 59 minutes, 30 seconds and 877 thousandths of a second. 14 seconds behind Max was Berta, and almost 15 seconds behind was Daniel Fraser, another Ferrari. Then it was Abovic, Bagos, Oskan, Telsi, Hanebusa, Oven and Armin in the top 10. On P11 we have Hidayat, Andrelli, Arnold, Blackwood, Gabriel, Chapman, Nielsen, Rosetta Martinez, and the retired drivers are Thorsten Daniel, Messi, and Aitken. And today, guys, we received a rare achievement to have a race without any drivers being lapped. Yeah, all 18 drivers who finished the race were not overtaken by the championship leader by a lap. And that's fantastic. That's some fantastic stuff happening as Hidayat making the move on Abovic around the outside through the Irish Radio, and we have Max Mittler with the fastest lap of the race, Dane Fraser second, being just 3 thousandths of a second slower than Max Mittler on that personal best for him today. And on P3 we have Baked Oven, also just even less than a 100th of a second, 9 thousandths. Fantastic. P4 is going to be Yuri Gabriel, and P5 is going to be Darabas Daniel. Now it's time to listen to the national anthems. First, it's going to be the anthem of Wales, and then it's going to be the anthem of Italy, because of the win of Ferrari. that's all for today, guys. Thanks for watching. And next time we're going to see the F1 cars coming around the circuit at Monza. But before that happens, we're going to have Formula Renault weekend without Formula 1 races, and it is going to take place at Zandvoort, and it's going to be the second Formula Renault weekend taking place at Netherlands. Anyways, thanks guys for watching. I wish you a good evening and see you